This is the MLW Radio Network. This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide and exhausted Adam Barnard, and he is the jet-lagged Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
Oh, shit. Yeah, man. I'm going to Ireland time.
Got the nap time Jones going on there.
Brother. I mean, it's good to be back in the States in one piece. Can't believe the trip came and went that quickly. It's like a week.
Yeah.
You know, we left like a week ago, like yesterday. And holy shit. But, dude, what a fantastic time. Me and Mrs. Meanie went over to Ireland for my 50th. And, dude, worth every penny. Just, it wasn't that, when I say worth every penny, hold on. Sorry.
Actually, I'm going to crack my seltzer right now, too. I can't wait until Ask Meanie, man. I'm parched, brother.
Dude, there you go.
Gimme.
Yeah, I was going to wait until Ask Meanie, but I was like, you know what? I brought up two. Fuck it. I'll drink the one for that one. Yeah. So, it wasn't that fucking expensive to go over there. It's like, Mrs. Meanie's been wanting to go to California for a little while, but flights were expensive, and she, for shits and giggles, she's like, let me see. Like, to fly to Ireland was cheaper than flying to California. We're like, all right.
That's surprising.
Well, yeah, we booked this back in January too, so it's it's like holy shit. And the only thing we kind of got screwed on was the hotel, because there's like a rugby tournament in town. So all the hotels fucking jacked up the rates. But the cool thing is, like, the hotel we stayed at had just opened in April, so I got to fucking christen it.
That's awesome. Now, christen it, you mean the like actually hang out there, or, as you know, we've discussed here and there, christen the toilet?
Both.
Excellent news.
Yes.
This toilet was made for Meanie butt cheeks, and goddamn it, he did it.
But Mrs. Meanie had a great line. She's like, the shower in the hotel room was designed by somebody who's never taken a fucking shower before. Because, like, we like to bring our own fucking toiletries and shit. And there's, like, no shelves, like, to put anything on. The shower had, like, those, you know, the hand soap dispenser.
Yeah.
Had that in there. Like.
A hand soap dispenser? Like one of the ones in the fucking public bathroom?
Yeah. But, like, full of, like, body soap.
What? Why?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
So we bring our own toiletries, our own shampoos, our own body washes. We just, like, had to, like, let them sit on the floor. It's like, all right, whatever. And, yeah, it was interesting. Had a little bit of a snafu and, accidentally blew my nose with a sanitary bag.
Oh, no.
I thought it was tissue. I was like, oh, man, my allergies. And I was like, man, this really is an absorbent. And I looked at it, oh, that's not tissue. And then I found real tissue. But, yeah, the hotel was nice. Yeah, we flew in Thursday. We wanted to land Thursday morning. We left Wednesday night. And, you know, my trick for trying to catch up to their time is I stay up. I wake up the day of the flight, stay up all day, stay up the entire flight. Once you land, stay up the rest of the day. So by the time you go to bed, their time, and you wake up the next morning, you should be on their clock, on their schedule, because you're so tired. You could stay up all day and
just
once you go to bed, you wake up at the normal hour of their time. You should be on their cycle, so to speak, which was cool because we hit the ground, checked into the hotel, and went on a rural pub tour through the mountains.
That's amazing.
Fucking amazing. Beautiful sights, beautiful everything. Great tour guide. This guy named Shane who runs the rural pub tour. Fantastic. Like, we went to about 6 different spots, like an hour or so at each. Mm-hmm. We stopped for dinner. And the last stop of the tour ended up in where fucking Finn Balor's hometown of Bray, Ireland.
Cool.
He's like, our final stop will be in Bray. I'm like, oh, hold on. And I was like, why is this sound familiar? Yeah, Finn Balor's hometown, which is pretty cool.
That is super cool, man.
Yeah. And then, went back to the hotel and, just went to bed, and the next day had the casual day and just went walkabout and walked around Dublin. And I really wanted to find the statue for Thin Lizzy frontman and bass player Phil Lynott, which is right there in downtown Dublin, which is I like to look outside and look up the local statues and stuff like that. And Dublin's got statues everywhere, but definitely the Phil Lynott statue. And got a photo with that and just walked around. And then our third day, we went on a Game of Thrones tour.
Sick, man.
Which left from Dublin and went up to Northern Ireland. And here's the thing is one of my anxieties of traveling is if I'm flying in the morning, I can't sleep at night because I'm afraid I'm going to oversleep and miss my flight. Mm. So we had to be at the meeting spot for the Game of Thrones tour 7:45 a.m. sharp. And the night before, I could not sleep. Yeah, I'm laying down. We both couldn't sleep. We were both laying down. Both couldn't shut down because, I'm anxious and she picks up on my energy. I can't think of it. She's
and she's empath. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
She's an empath, so she can pick up on my energies as well. So, we were just fuck it, let's get up. We went over, and then the pickup spot was a 10-minute, 15-minute walk from our hotel, so it wasn't too bad. And met up with the tour, got on board, and it's about an hour and a half drive up north, and just beautiful scenery. God, and we had a really cool tour guide, a guy named Lar, L-A-R. I can't think of his last name offhand, but he's been an extra on Game of Thrones, on Vikings.
Sick.
Yeah. Awesome stuff. He was in you could see him in 2 of the most epic episodes of Game of Thrones with Battle of the Bastards and Hardhome. And we're wow, it's cool. So, we went around to all the different sets. We went to Winterfell. We went to Walter Frey's castle. Walter Frey's castle is in this little. It almost feels like a fishing village, but I know it's not. but it was super cool. And we went to a location where they had filmed the scene where Robb Stark had been. Recognized as King of the North. Mm. And the cool thing about that, it was right in the shadows of St. Patrick's Church, which is in Northern Ireland, where St. Patrick's body's buried.
Wow.
And then, because then the next day, we're walking around Ireland, and we went to St. Patrick's Cathedral in downtown Dublin. But we did tons of walking around. I mean, the Game of Thrones tour was amazing. And then walking around the next day, seeing everything. And I wear a Fitbit, and I was checking out my stats. And like for that entire trip, we walked about 20 miles.
Wow.
Just fucking
shoes the soles of your shoes are fucking talking at that point, man. Holy shit.
Fucking feet hate me, dude. I was like, oh, geez. But, and then, the sad part is you got to come home and, flew home. I guess the best thing about, travel is traveling west to east because you're going with the time change. So, we left Ireland at, our flight was like at 4 and we got home about 7. For a 7-hour flight, that's not bad because, when we landed, it was like almost like midnight.
Right.
Dublin. Because they got different times on the plane, where it is, time where you just left, time where you're going, all that stuff. So got home and then you just try to get acclimated and get back into your normal routine. And, we're here like, a little inside baseball where it's May 26th at almost 8:00 p.m. And like this time last week, we're, walking around Dublin and a week's gone by and I'm in South Philly and it seems like, it feels like it was like a month ago.
Right.
It was a week ago, but, I love that Mrs. Meanie thought that, she planned this whole thing. She wanted to do something special for my 50th. And, we had been doing the ancestry thing and, a lot of my ancestors came from Ireland and, my, grandmom's, folks came from like the Donegal area, but just to go to Ireland for the first time with something that wasn't a layover. Cause like, I've landed in Dublin, but I've just never been in Dublin and, or Ireland at all, just set, foot on ground, like, the Sunday we were doing walkabouts, like we sit in the park. I was like, I'm just going to go over in that grass and put my feet in the dirt. Yeah. Just took off my shoes and just sat there and put my feet on some Irish soil. And, a lot of people call that's which is also referred to as like grounding, right. Becoming, or as our good friend CM Punk said, go touch grass. You say that too.
I do. Yeah. Touch grass, clap cheeks, whatever you need to do to ground yourself is what you should be doing.
Yeah. But dude, definitely got to go back. Maybe go to the west coast of Ireland, the Emerald Isle. One thing that kind of threw me off was like when you go from, Southern Ireland to Northern Ireland, you're basically entering like a new country. Yeah. Because they're like, you're no longer going to be using euros. It's going to be, sterlings. And, the miles per hour went from, was it kilometers to miles per hour they do, which is kind of weird.
And I know that in Philadelphia, the speed is measured by hoagies per wawa, I believe is the accurate description here in Philly.
Yes, you are correct, sir. But, it's phenomenal. And, I'm slowly going through the photos now, sorting things out and posting stuff, but, can't believe it's been a week.
It looked super dope. I was following you and Mrs. Meanie on your socials with all the posting, and I love the look of the big jacket that you were wearing, like the big coat that you were wearing in some of those photos. I was like, Meanie should have been. I feel like we missed an opportunity to have you as an extra on Game of Thrones because I feel like that would have been incredible. Like it feels like you would have fit right into it.
A little inside baseball. So the tour bus pulls over at this one spot and where they keep the cloaks and the swords. And, Laura's like, hey, me and Laura kind of like, we had a little stuff for a little piss break. And, Laura talked about how he's been on Vikings. I was like, I know somebody's on Vikings because I know Edge.
Oh, right.
And then we kind of bonded over that. And then he was like, we pull over to get the cloaks and the thing. He's like, hey, mind a little bit of heavy lifting? I was like, what? All right. So he asked me to help him get the swords onto the undercarry of the bus and stuff like that. So when we pull over to go to where there's this one forest where they filmed a lot of shit, but most notably it's where the Starks find the dire wolves in the woods. Mm. And, we pulled over to go there. And I'll say this, man, holy shit. I thought my cardio was bad. My cardio is complete shit. But, there's so many fucking hills. And I'm just like, I went from casually walking to casually heavy breathing to doing my, conserved breathing that I usually do it, like when I'm wrestling, like just fucking, holy shit, holy fucking mountains.
Jesus.
Fucking hills. But, when we pulled over, you were bringing up the cloaks. They were trying to find a cloak for me that fit, like I'm this big fucking oaf, right? So, that cloak, they're like, we'll find you another one. I was like, no, even if we find one that fits, I'm wearing this one because it goes with my fucking gear. So a lot of those photos, like there's like the strap that goes across your chest like an X. It wraps around the back and it comes up in buckles, right?
Right.
Those motherfuckers weren't going to touch.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, man, well, fuck it. I'm a worker.
Yeah.
I'll just fucking either hold that one strap in place and kind of kayfabe it or just shut the cloak altogether.
Oh, that's smart.
For a lot of the photos, I just shut the cloak and it just didn't look like it was meant to be. So,
yeah.
Like Dusty Rhodes, make it work, baby. I'm going to make this work.
I was just going to say, listen.
Work.
Meanie with cheeseburger, baby. And if you saw what I just did there, you're following us on patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today and join us so you can watch our beautiful faces here every week to chat here. I got to get one of those for my desk. I have the small ones, but I got to get one of your bone crushers here. Now, the question is, I've never been through customs before. And I've never gone. I have to get my passport. I'm a shitbird. I got to do it. But what's it like? It's a shitbird. What's it like going through customs? Like, is it as insane as I've heard some horror stories about it? But what's it like going there? Is it more difficult to go from like the States to another country or in reverse?
Dude, we did this trip. And I don't want to jinx myself for any future trips, but it was fairly easy.
Really?
Well, dude, like we landed in Dublin and we stopped taking a piss, because I've been I sat on my coin purse for 6 hours. I pull over and get that post-flight piss in. But like once we got to, once we got to customs, it was just like we walked right up to the fucking thing. There's maybe 3 people in front of us.
Wow.
And, what are you here for? Oh, it's my birthday vacation. Oh, okay. How long you gonna be here for? Till Monday. Okay. Stamped the passport and through.
Wow.
And like our bags came right out and, we, did the thing where we're like, you know what? Thinking, frugal wise. Well, there's a thing called the Dublin Express where I paid $12. It takes you right to, it takes you around Dublin, but it dropped us off within like a block or 2 of our hotel. So we did that on the way in. On the way back, we did like Uber. But when you're leaving Dublin, which you check in, check-in's a little bit different. You check in a machine, you put on your own luggage thing, take it up to the gimmick, and your bags go through. Then you go through the security. And like Dublin Mall, like a lot of like malls overseas, you're walking through it. It's like, I keep saying mall. I meant to say airport. I was trying to make the point that once you get through security, it feels like you're walking through a mall.
Yes.
And that was a slip because, we're in an airport, but once you go through that security, it's like, there's like ladies with perfume. You're walking through a perfume stand and then like, you're like just trying to find food. Yeah. Right. It's it wasn't first thing in the morning, but you just want to get some. We purposely went to the airport like a couple hours, just so there's no drama of this, that, and the other thing. And then so I know you're asking about customs.
Oh, you're good, man.
I'll get to the going home custom. There was this one restaurant, and this is the new trend now, where you go to a restaurant, there's a QR code on the table, which brings up the menu, and you pay there, this, that, and the other thing. Well, we're in line, right, to go into the restaurant, and there's a British couple in front of us, and they're telling the guy, you just go to the table with your cell phone. Well, I don't have a mobile phone, and I will not be doing this, that, and the other thing. Like, all right. I'm listening to this. I'm like, oh, what a dickhead, right? Mm-hmm. So they get seated. We get seated. We're sitting there. We do the QR code. We put in our order. We pay for our food. Mrs. Meanie was going to get like fish and chips. I was going to get a burger.
Right.
No, of course, double patty, brother.
Gotta do it, man. Double patty, brother.
Fucking double patty, motherfucker.
Double patty, brother is the name of the episode. Go ahead, continue.
Yes, please. So we're sitting there, we're just reminiscing about the thing, about the trip, and a waiter comes over with our food, but accidentally brings 2 orders of fish and chips. I go, sir, I ordered a burger. He goes, well, looks like you got extra fish and chips, right? So he goes back and gets my burger, which turns out the fish and chip order that came was originally for the asshole who refused to use I don't have a mobile phone guy. So, and then I forget what it was. They went to bring us over another thing of fish and chips, and we're like, no. So they went to take over the food to the guy. He's like, I will not eat food that sat on another man's table or something.
Oh, my God, dude.
Being such a fucking cock,
what
right?
A turd, dude.
Well, here's where we benefited. So the guy refused to use the QR code, which he was told about well in advance.
Right.
Not only did we get his 2 orders of fish and chips, but they were double orders of fish and chips, which has the 2 fishes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure costs extra money. And I got that and my burger. So I got so many, just because that guy didn't want to go with the rules of, what the restaurant was.
Right.
Decided to be a cock about it.
Yeah.
Not only did we get his food, which we thought was ours anyway. Miss Meanie ordered fish and chips, so we got an extra order of fish and chips, which was a double order and a burger, and we were good to go for the flight. And then, as you do in Ireland in the airport, we went booze shopping.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah. So, oh my God. So we go to this one, place that we had gone to. We went to the one booze shop we went to before on a layover from London back to Philly. And, I was trying to be a little bit more guarded this time. As, when we went to the Philadelphia Eagles game in, London, we had a layover in Dublin on the way back, and, they have sales people in there, right?
Right.
So this guy comes up to me and goes, well, this is a good local whiskey. It's called Quiet Man, named after the movie, right? And the guy who sells me on it, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I think I'm getting some, from Ireland, exclusive to Ireland, blah, blah, blah. Get back to the States, have some. It's really good, Turns out you can get it in the States anyway.
Ah, man.
And then, I'm talking to my friends from Ireland. They're like, and then when we were on the rural pub tour, when we go to Dublin, I'm like, And he's got, giving me a rundown of all this great Irish whiskey. And I pull him aside, like when I was like, what's the word on that? Quiet Man over here goes, you mean the movie? I was like, no, the whiskey. He's like, he goes, man, it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
It's like Conor McGregor's, Proper 12. It's just a gimmick whiskey.
Jesus.
It's not like what the locals would drink, So when we go back over there, we have our fish and chips burger, gimmick dinner, gimmick lunch. So we're going to go whiskey shopping, in the airport. I'm a little bit guarded because last time the guys told me Quiet Man, which it's not bad.
Right.
But you want
I'm here in Ireland. I want to get something that everybody here in Ireland drinks. Right. Yeah.
So this one broad comes up to me and she's like, what are you looking for? Here, try this one. It's got a little bit of a peaty flavor. And she starts handing me shots. And I'm like,
fuck, man, it's 8:30 in the morning. Yeah.
She's like, what are you looking for? I was like, I'm just browsing. I'm being polite. I'm just browsing.
Yep.
Which is code for leave me the fuck alone.
Always. Yep.
I'm just browsing. Oh, come on over. I was like, I walk over and she starts showing me like this $100 bottle. I'm like,
oh, Christ, come on.
Well, you're handing me booze. I'm not going to turn it down.
Right.
Right down the fucking gullet. And then she starts pouring out, like before you know it, I'm like 3 shots in. I'm just like, ooh. I was like, ma'am, I'm just browsing. I start like doing the half walkway, like, leave me the fuck alone.
Moving back and forth, yeah.
So I'm trying to plan because she was in the area I wanted to be in, which was the whiskey. So I was like, fuck, right? So, see that she's got somebody else's fucking ear. So we're like, oh, okay, we can head back over.
Right.
Like, there's a diversion. Let's go back. So I go back and there's a gentleman, like a little bit less aggressive. Hey, mate, kind of thing, It's like, hey, you guys need anything? Last time I was here, I was sold on the whiskey and then I found out it was a gimmick whiskey and he's like, all right, well, here's Tealings, and here's another. This is kind of embarrassing, but like you were talking, you know how you talk with your fucking hands?
Yeah, yeah.
So the guy talked, and I went like this, like my hand went up, and I went to point to something, and realized that like my finger, I scooped an onion off my fucking hoodie that was on my burger. And thank God he was looking at me. This is quickly like
a booger. Yep.
Yeah, without missing him.
Love it. Love it.
So he's like, he heard my, I stooged out to one of his people last time, fucking gave me a gimmick whiskey. So he recommended Tealings. He's like, well, here's the one you can only get here. You might be able to order online, but if you get this one, you can get it in the States. If you wind up liking it, you get it in the States too. So we got about, between me and her, we got like $100 worth of booze, like 3 bottles. You're like, so she got I forget what she got off the top of my head, but I normally I wasn't going to go get currency while I was over there, but I heard like some spots on some of the tours were cash only, so I got some cash. I was like, well, I got this fucking currency instead of like exchanging it. Let's go get some booze, and I still have some of the coins left, which I always find I'm fascinated by coins.
Yeah.
So I still got coins, but the paper stuff. We went and got booze and some liquid medicine for for home, and so we go to there's a thing when you go to Dublin, well, at least in Dublin, there's this thing called U.S. pre-clearance. So you talk to the U.S. agent, and when you get to America, you go through customs. You can go to American customs while you're still in Dublin.
Sick.
So when you're on a plane, you can just get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right. Just get in and get out. Yeah.
So we So when we did our London trips and we had to go to Dublin, we would kind of have to go through pre-clearance. We would kind of have to go through security again.
Oh, okay.
Even though we just went through security in London, like, X-ray your machine, put everything on the belt, this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
This time, since we were in Dublin and we're going through pre-clearance, we didn't have to go through that step.
Oh, I see. So that takes it all. You don't even have to do anything else there. Oh, that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, I guess because you're flying from London to Dublin, maybe Dublin doesn't trust it. The London's, who knows? You have to go through it again if you're going from London to Dublin, but since you're going from Dublin, you don't have to do that whole rigmarole. So you go to pre-clearance, you go to the customs and where you been? Did you buy anything? Yeah. And this, that, and there. Okay, enjoy your flight. And that was painless too.
Wow.
So, you get to the gate and you just wait and get on the plane and go home and, on the flight home, watch a couple movies, watch Back to the Future 1 and 2, which I don't think I've ever seen part 2. So that was kind of
interesting.
Cool. It was interesting. And the whole time I'm watching, I was like, man, they really saved money on making this movie because there's a lot of scenes that were already filmed in part 1 that you're just kind of showing the alternative footage and alternative shots that, you're really just shooting around whatever happened in the first movie. So, watched that, got home, took an Uber home and, got home just in time to watch the Phillies fucking lose. So I was like, oh, vacation's ruined.
Every fucking time. Just when I think they're going to be good, they fucking lose because they're the shits.
Yeah, for now. It's May, but,
I mean, we got time, but I got to yell. I got to yell right now.
Oh, yeah.
What's crazy?
Just when they get over 500, they fucking shit the bed.
I was thinking about Back to the Future as you were talking. They filmed 2 and 3 like concurrently. I think it was pretty close together. And Crispin Glover sued the filmmakers of the movie because he refused to sign, or he wanted to make like Michael J. Fox money for the second movie. I don't fucking. It's like a whole story, right? And he didn't sign on for the film, so they got another actor to play the role of his dad, right. And they put him in prosthetic makeup and made him look like George McFly. And he didn't approve or sign off on them using his likeness or anything like that. So they got sued, and he won the case. And now it's like case law in Hollywood, where if you use any show you see where like if an actor leaves the show, they have to sign off on paperwork saying, or during their contract, hey, we want to use your likeness in perpetuity in the show, even if you leave the show or the movie or the franchise or whatever. Pretty wild story though. Like I couldn't, of all things, Back to the Future causes case law in the world, but no, it's
you think about when I guess Bruce Willis just recently signed his likeness away for future use in commercials, like his voice or likeness. They could just do an AI of him.
I don't know, man. I watched a video.
It kind of makes sense now, knowing that he's got Parkinson's or whatever.
Yeah, he's got some kind of dementia of some kind of. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, it's a form of dementia that's taking his speech. I can't remember the name of it specifically, but it's a shame, man. I can't believe that that's a terrible thing to have to go through. But I watched a video from the producer Timbaland the other day, and he was like, I never got to work with Biggie, and now I get to work with Biggie through AI. And somebody wrote lyrics for Biggie and recorded it and then spit it back as his voice over a Timbaland beat. And I was like, this feels wrong, man. Like, this feels really wrong. Like, even like Aaliyah, a couple years ago, they did a record. They had, I can't remember the name of it, but The Weeknd sings on the hook. And it sounded like she had recorded the vocals into a boombox. And they took the vocals and they did all kinds of stuff to it. And they like turned all the levels and shit. Carl could probably tell you better, whatever they did. but they did it in the worst possible way, and it's just unlistenable. They pulled the track down and then re-engineered it and then released it again, and it was like almost worse than it was initially. And it was like, God, like if you found Kurt Cobain vocals that were recorded on a fucking boombox and they weren't committed to tape, it's probably best just to leave them as an unfinished demo. You know, like clean up the audio, make it loud, but like don't fuck with it. Nobody wants to hear this shit. But I don't know, man. I have concerns. Well, I don't even know concerns. I don't know if I don't want to hear Biggie spit lyrics that he didn't write over a beat that he never performed on, you know?
Exactly. You know, everybody knows I'm a huge Eddie Van Halen fan, but if they made a Van Halen song that wasn't Eddie playing, really not interested. But, you know, now there's talks that they're going into the vault to re-release some of the Sammy era stuff, but with like bonus tracks.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be like some new Eddie stuff I hadn't heard before that's about to come out. So I'm looking forward to that. But like if there was an AI Eddie, I'm like, I don't know.
I'm all about the unreleased, because I know Prince has a vault full of shit. There's like 2 or 3 albums he did with Miles Davis that I would like kill to get my hands on. But I don't know, unreleased stuff is cool. Like I don't mind that. Like when they take or like Tupac, right? Tupac's big on he recorded blocks of 16 bars at a time. On just like a BPM machine or whatever, like just a drum pattern that they could match to something else. So as long as they're not warping the vocals and it doesn't sound awful, I'm about it. Like I love that shit because it's new. Like no one's ever heard it before, right? But I agree. I think that we're getting a little too close to comfort with that kind of stuff, and it's like, you know, I mean, Sam Krebs, he did a whole bunch of stuff a couple weeks ago where he took audio from the show and got my voice and made it AI. And it was like, and he had me saying things, and it's like, I obviously I'm me. I know my own voice, but it was still fucking weird to be like, holy shit, that sounds just like me. And I don't. It was really fucking bizarre, but not my bag, brother. So yeah. And Vanessa here. Also, shout out to the Pod Squad here that's joining us tonight. Vanessa in the chat box is saying that was a Black Mirror episode, the one with Miley Cyrus. Yes, I do recall. I never watched the episode, but I recall that one being spoken about. But it feels like we're getting closer and closer to living Black Mirror in real life.
Yeah, when you think about like all the deep fake stuff, that they could do with putting your, somebody's, face on somebody else's body, and you could do shit that like could cause like a third world war if it is in fact a fact check before people react to it. And then there's warnings out there. The guy who's, one of the godfathers of AI says, this shit needs to fucking slow down. Mm-hmm. The guy who created AI is saying that's his biggest regret ever.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. It's like Oppenheimer with the bomb. It's like, well, this is my regret. I didn't know that this is what this technology was going to do. And now it's here. And you're like, well, fuck, you can't put that toothpaste back in the tube.
No.
My kids the other day, they came home from school. James was telling me, he was like, did the Pentagon blow up today? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I saw a photo online of the Pentagon and the White House on fire. And I was like, no, buddy, everything's fine. I went on my phone and looked it up, and here it was somebody that was like Bloomberg. They had it set up as a fake Twitter account because of course they did. And it was like Bloomberg News or something. And the whole page was set up to look as if it was real. And it caused it caused the stock market to dip. And it was just like, Christ, it looked so, and then again, like people are going to get so much better at this that it's like, I don't know. It feels funny, but what doesn't feel funny, Meanie, is our perpetual saint of Chicago, CM Punk, back in the news again. AEW Collision, on, off. It's like movies by Caligula. It's weird. And I don't know, man. How are you feeling about the potential of a Collision show? Have you had any time to check out the news there? And do you think we're being worked with this whole thing?
It worked in what aspect?
Like, do you think that the Elite and Punk have made up, months ago, and we're being worked to be like, oh my God, and then here they're going to come back and work together?
all I've read is they come to terms, and had been rumors of doing like a soft brand split.
Right.
Where one team, Team Elite will be on Dynamite, and Team Punk will be on Collision. That's as far as I've heard. I don't know if there's been any updates since then. We know the fact that, they announced that the show is going to be in Chicago. The debut for Collision's going to be in Chicago. That's just basically saying, Punk will be there. Because I guess there had been murmurs that if Punk hadn't agreed to come back, they were going to do it from Daly's place, which is like, nothing against Daly's place, but, if you're going to debut a show, make an impact, just, you want to have it, you don't want to do it at Daly's place, which is, it is what it is. I mean, it's an amphitheater. You go there to see, Nickelback, and you go there to see a summer tour,
Right.
It's not really good for pro wrestling, so to speak, but, it'd be interesting to see Punk come back. I'm not sure if the whole thing was a work, because if it's a work, there was no benefit to it.
Right.
Because, you got a guy who, got the golden goose, which was Punk coming out of retirement, coming back to pro wrestling after he swore off pro wrestling. I mean, he didn't go to New Japan. He didn't go to Ring of Honor. He did nothing. And you got him to come to pro wrestling on your show. And then you go and, kind of try to vilify him, whether it's justified or unjustified. I mean, in the eyes of some AEW fans are going to love him, and there's some, diehard elite fans that are going to hate him.
Right.
So, do you really want? They've caused the divide. This whole situation caused such a divide in the fan base. So I can't see it being a work just from that aspect, that you've kind of made somebody who's going to be your flag bearer, because Punk's like the most notable person on that roster that's like current.
For sure.
As current as could be, as far as, I mean, that Jericho's there, but Jericho's always kind of been there. He's gone away for maybe a year or two and then come back, and there's been a constant with Jericho, where Punk had sworn off wrestling, and there's this like allure of, man, he'll never come back, right? And then he came back, and now there's like this fucking strife. So I don't know if it was, if it's a work, I don't know if it's worth that much to try to do this thing. So
right.
That they might be having two separate shows for two different factions. It's going to be interesting. And it'll be interesting, the blowback when it comes back to looking at the ratings to see what show draws more.
Yeah.
If the Punk show does better than the Elite show, then that's going to lead to more, feelings.
More issues.
More issues.
I feel like the Punk show is going to do better than the Elite show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Punk's, and it's not to say anything against the Elite. I'm just saying Punk is.
I've had nothing but pleasant experiences with those guys.
Punk's the draw. Punk's the draw.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's not, and he's the top draw, too. It's not that Omega and the Bucks can't draw, because, who'd I ever beat? I never wrestled with anybody in my life. They're clearly drawing. They're clearly bringing in ratings. But you're talking about CM Punk. Like, I don't know. It remains to be seen here. I should clarify, too. I don't think it was a work with what originally happened. The fight. I think that was all shoot stuff. I'm just talking about like, they made up. Everything's great now. Hey, let's work the boys a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we made up like 6 months ago. Or they came to terms or whatever. And now Tony's just like, let's feed him some red meat. Let me pretend like we're not at terms. And, now we're going to announce the Daily or the United Center and this, that, and the other. But, And we're coming up. So tomorrow, as we're recording this, is Night of Champions. So by Monday, you'll know the answer. Who's your pick? We're going to look into the future here in the past, Meanie. Who's your pick for winning the World's Heavyweight Championship? Is it AJ Styles or Seth Franklin Rollins?
I want to say AJ, but Seth kind of needs to. I guess, not that he needs to, but I think it would make more sense for Seth because Seth is, I want to say he's been losing a lot, but he needs, he had the feud with Cody. He lost, 3 straight pay-per-views and this, that, and the other thing. And then, he had the Logan Paul feud.
Mm-hmm.
This could be something to be a bit of a reward for the stuff he's been doing. So, and plus AJ's been out for a little bit too. So, I think Seth having been there constant, being the guy who's done whatever's been asked of him. I think it makes sense to put it on Seth Franklin Rollins. Yeah.
I agree.
Technically, it could be afternoon of Champions because, the time difference for when it airs here. So,
Yeah, because it'll be 1 o'clock here and it'll be probably 7:30 there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Afternoon of Champions. Afternoon delight. But no, I agree. I think afternoon delight. I think Franklin is going to be the one to win that. I would be surprised to see AJ pick it up at this point. I think either choice would be perfect. I think either choice would be fine. I just think there's more meat on the story for Seth than there is for AJ at this point. I still think that Finn Balor's going to win the title at some point. I was kind of disappointed in the tournament that Finn didn't go as far as I thought he should have. I feel like the energy is right with him right now, and I feel like they really could have done something cool with him inside of the Judgment Day and everything else, coming off of the big, the Damian Priest stuff and Rhea Ripley, that group's got a ton of fucking heat. So, we will see. But Meanie, I also want to know one quick thing. Actually, dare I say a question for you, sir?
Yes, dear.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to.
It's time to ask Meanie anything.
Ask me something.
Yeah, of course.
Don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the program. Meanie, what do you got for us today, seltzer-wise?
A little insight. I always try to be honest with the Pod Squad. I kind of had like a pre-seltzer. But right now I got a Polar Cranberry Lime.
Ooh.
I'm going to crack open. Did you burn through yours?
I'm almost done. I have a little bit of the cheap shit from Aldi down the road, but I can get a little out of this one.
Let's see. 3, 2, 1.
Little tiny one there, but that'll do it. That'll do it. You squeeze your butt cheeks too hard, and it's like a little squeezy toot. Mark and Dryden wants to know, who are your guys' favorite Canadian rock bands or artists?
Dude, it's funny you say that because right before I logged in to come into here to do the show with you, yesterday, Tina Turner passed away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And one of my favorite collaborations she did was with Bryan Adams on the song It's Only Love.
Yeah.
There's a live video version. So just to get that song out of my head before the podcast, I went on YouTube, hopped on YouTube and watched Bryan Adams and Tina Turner do it. It's Only Love. So that my answer would be I like Bryan Adams.
Mm-hmm.
I call him Canadian Springsteen.
Yeah.
But,
a little Philadelphia Belgian salute for Canadian Springsteen. I like it.
There's also I think they're called Glass Tiger. They got a song which Bryan Adams does the background vocals on. Don't what was it? Don't forget me when I'm gone. My heart will break. I think Brian Adams does the background vocals on that as well. So, Canadian, I would have to say, Rush is great too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes without saying. But, Brian Adams, Rush. There's a really cool band called The Tea Party.
Mm.
They were around before the political thing, so and they refused to sell their website or whatever. I guess they're party.com, but they refer to themselves as Moroccan Roll. They have like a Moroccan sound to their vibe, but they're really good too.
For me, there's only one answer, and that answer is Nickelback. That's the only answer. How the hell we wound up like this? Why would we ever? No. You know what? I don't mind Nickelback, man. I mean,
for all the people who say they suck, they're sell millions of records.
That's what I'm saying. They don't fucking pack the arenas for nothing. Like it's like Limp Bizkit back in the late 90s. Like, what do you think people were just showing they were getting free tickets? Like, they fucking sold out giant stadiums across the country, across the world. Like, people want to listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not the worst. Nickelback is not the worst thing I've ever heard. I don't want to be crucified for this. Please enjoy arguing with the wall if you disagree. But no, I enjoy Nickelback. I would say my favorite Canadian rock band though is Bare Naked Ladies. I really enjoy their stuff.
Yeah,
really like Bare Naked Ladies. Rush obviously is. I think Rush was the first thing that popped into my head. And now Vanessa's in the group chat. Look at this photograph. My favorite is the one on YouTube where they're like, "Look at this graph." That's my fucking favorite. Oh man, good shit, pal. Good shit. Let's see another one here from Mark and Dryden. Deep questions about Three's Company. You a fan of the Three's Company show?
Yes.
Which episodes did you think were funnier, Roper or Furley, and also Chrissy, Cindy, or Terry?
Well, Mr. Roper was better.
Yeah.
Just the fact that, like, my favorite Mr. Roperism was when he would break the fourth wall and hit, like, Mrs. Roper with a zinger and then look at the camera like, yeah. So, Mr. Roper. I like the Ropers. And then, what was the other question?
Chrissy. Let me see it here. We're looking at Roper and Furley or Chrissy, Cindy, or Terry. Which one did you like better?
Chrissy, the original, right?
Yeah, that's the original.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm old. I'm OG all the way with the Three's Company cast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Mr. Furley was good too. Don't get me wrong, But Mr. Roper, Norma Fell was good with his timing, with his facials, breaking the fourth wall. I probably the biggest mistake was doing the spinoff show with them. With the, they did the spinoff Ropers show. They should just put them on there.
Yeah, like the spinoffs, even with MASH, like just leave it alone. Like leave the memories there. I'm not big on the only spinoff I feel like that's ever worked is Frasier. And Better Call Saul. I think that's a spinoff too. So
Better Call Saul is amazing.
Yeah, that show. So Frasier and Better Call Saul, I think are the top two winners on spinoffs.
There's always those lesser known spinoffs, like the Dukes of Hazzard had a spinoff for Enos, who was Roscoe's deputy.
No shit.
Which I guess he went to live in the big city and everything became I'm a country guy in the big city.
Oh, like we haven't heard this story before.
Yeah.
Oh, so good on TV.
Yeah. The big thing is, his buddy would go, "Give me 5," and he would put the thumbs up in the guy's hand. That's so good. It's like, oh. Yeah.
As it goes to a commercial for cornflakes.
Yeah, I gotta look into see how long that show lasted, but it couldn't last long.
Vanessa was saying Cheers only had 2 spinoffs. It was the Tortellis, which was a spinoff of Carla's husband, and I guess their kids or something. I don't even know if Carla was involved in that show or not. And then Frasier was the other spinoff. But Frasier had almost every character, every like actor that was on the show that was still alive, with the exception of Kirstie Alley. everybody did a spot on that show. But it's an interesting story what they did with Frasier. They basically they changed so much of what, like, so the intro for Cheers was like super long, right? It felt like it was 10 years long. That's why Frasier's intro was so short. It was just an instrumental because they wanted to separate the shows between, they wanted to show like the differences between the shows. But no, I'm not aware of any other Cheers spinoffs. If you find any, please send them over my way because I'd be curious. Very, very big Cheers fan. So
I want to say the Golden Girls had a spinoff with Empty Nest.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. I haven't watched that yet. And then they had the other spinoff with the hotel.
What was that?
Because B. Arthur left the show, so they Golden Hotel. It might have been called the Golden Palace. That's what it was called.
I'm looking at the
Golden Palace.
Yeah, the Golden Palace with B. Arthur. Yep. And it was
no. B. Arthur.
Oh, that's right. She left. Right.
Which she came back and made a cameo.
Mm-hmm. They did 24 episodes of the. It was a single season, and
it's actually pretty good.
Let me see why did she leave the show? Why did because now I'm curious now that we're doing this. Why did B. Arthur leave the show? Oh, she got tired of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate making money.
Yeah, making money is the shit. Yeah. Not a fan, y'all. Not a fan. Don't like it. Meanie.
Yes, sir.
Summer's coming. Are you aware of that?
I am such a summer person.
I can't wait to be on the beach. And what better way to be on the beach? And with the start of the summer season with a question, Meanie. Are you ready to unveil your beach bod?
The question is not if I'm ready, is if other people's ready to see my body.
Well, they're going to be excited to see your body this summer thanks to Manscaped, because they are here to ensure that your body is ready for the wild with their game-changing full-body grooming and hygiene products. Don't be the guy at the beach with the Austin Powers chest hair, and if you grew some winter man tits, the least you can do is make sure that you're hairless, because trust me, guys, we're all there right now. It was a tough winter, okay? It's time to get ready for Hot Guy Summer by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping using the promo code MINDMeanie at checkout. Manscaped, Meanie, I'm not sure if you know, is dedicated to helping you increase your confidence and level up your full-body grooming game with the Performance Package 4.0. And Meanie, I want to know how you are getting ready for your summer body this year using Manscaped's products.
Well, it's summer. I'm going to be busting out the half shirt and Daisy Dukes when I go out about town. The Performance Package 4.0 is awesome. The lawnmower 4.0, not only is it waterproof, but it's good for down below. And then, hey, you might have a little bit of unwanted back hair too that you might want to get rid of as well. A lot of people don't think about the back hair, and that's perfect for there. But the crop preserver, the crop reviver, I'm going to be turning 50 pretty soon. And I need that Weed Whacker 2.0 to get the old nose hair and ear hair so I don't look like Abe Vigoda over here.
Well, make sure those Daisy Dukes are looking official and fresh by using the kit. This package, Performance Package 4.0, Meanie, comes with the Essential Lawnmower 4.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine. Because, ladies, it's not just about Little John and the East Side Boys. That's right. Sometimes you miss the gooch, and you got to get up in there with the gooch and the Lawnmower 4.0. Whether you're trimming your chest or your treasure chest in your pants, this is the best trimmer on the market. I love these reads. Their trimmer features a ceramic blade designed to cut hair on loose skin and reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. You can even trim an arrow pointing to the promised land if you're bold enough. Inside the Performance Package, you'll find the Manscaped Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and the Crop Reviver Ball Toner, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, because we know how painful it can be when you're wearing your bathing suit, or if in Meanie's case, you're wearing them Daisy Dukes out there at the beach, you're going to get a little chafing. And just like he said, no one likes them nose hair sticking out of your face, so the package also comes with the Weed Whacker 2.0. You'll also get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value add, and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers. And if you're wearing sandals, no need to fret, Meanie, because you'll get the Manscaped Shears 2.0 nail kit. Top to bottom, you're going to look fresh as hell. Since zero AD, thanks to Manscaped's products, having the right tools for the job is essential. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. So go to manscaped.com right now and save 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MindMeanie. That's manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping by using the code MindMeanie. Your balls will thank you. Meanie, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring the program.
Thank you.
Armand wants to know your favorite. What was your favorite sidekick character that you portrayed? The Blue Guy in BWO, BlueDust, or with the new Foundation?
Oh, it had to be the BWO because we're still talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Go ahead.
what?
I was going to say I was going to tell the story about Monday Night Raw, but go ahead. You go first.
Oh no, just BWO. Just fucking. We're still talking about it, and I mean, shit. I got a fucking action figure out of it. I got this one. I got another BWO action figure coming out pretty soon too. So, and we're in a video game. So the BWO is in the video game with Retromania. So, you know, can't complain, man. The other ones were great, but yeah, BWO.
I was at Monday Night Raw this past week. So you're listening to this on Monday. So a week ago today, my wife and I took the kids to Monday Night Raw. And my kids, I have a couple of wrestling shirts, and I have, of course, a BWO because I'm an honorary member of the group.
Yes.
And the kids were like, "What? You know, Dad, you got to wear your Blue Meanie shirt." So I said, "Okay, fine." So I put it on. And we get inside. We went to Giant Center at Hershey, Pennsylvania, and we're sitting there. We got really great seats. Like, it was really nice. The team, one of the teams I work with at my shoot job, it's a group called Cityscape Technologies. I got them a bunch of work at my property, and they gave us, as a nice thank you, they gave us tickets. So they were really great. And I would say no less than I would say more than a dozen times I was stopped at several points over the course of the night. Anytime I would go to the vending, or if I would go out to get a concession for the kids, if I would take one of them to the bathroom, even sitting in the stands, people were like, you know, "Oh my God, the BWO, I love that shirt. Oh, Blue Meanie." And everybody was just talking about Blue Meanie. And your contribution, sir, and I texted this to you, and I meant it. Like, you have made such an impact on this great sport of ours. And it's just cool to see people shout you out, give you your flowers in public. Yeah, it's just cool. It's cool to see that, and it's cool to hear that. So,
It was very kind of you to think to send that to me, but yeah, it's so cool that it was supposed to be a one night thing, and in some ways we almost outlasted the originators. And you know, shout out to NWO for being cool with the parody, but yeah, just the fact that, you know, it's 2023. That was 97. And we're still talking about it, man. And then, you know, your kids, you know, were, you know, cool. You know, they were smart enough to, you know, talk you into wearing the shirt. But, I mean, like a young generation like that was like, "Yeah, Dad, you got to wear the BWO shirt." That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause I mean, you know, a lot of people that, you know, come up and say BWO weren't even alive when the BWO was around. So that means a lot.
it was super cool, and yeah. So the kids think it's super cool that Dad knows a professional wrestler. So you get talked about a lot amongst their friends. But our friend Summer of Juice, Mr. Primetime Grape.
Oh, Jesus.
His weekly question: what was the gnarliest, in all capital letters, booty toot you bestowed upon as a gift to the beautiful nation of Ireland? And do you think it drove the snakes even further with obnoxiousness and become Saint Meanie?
There's a couple times we're in that first forest where I was just like, I was like, you guys go ahead. Yeah, I'm walking in this, you know, just because there's so much walking and so much hills, and so much deep breathing for both ends in this. I saw you taking a sip of water there, so I was trying to get
deep breathing from both ends.
you know.
You're farting so hard, you're prolapsing on the opposite way in, and you're just sucking all the air in, man.
My asshole gave my underwear a hickey.
My God, man. It's brilliant.
Dude, yeah, it was weird. Like, so here's a little tip. When you we went to Ireland, we checked in the hotel, and Mrs. Meanie was like hyper focused. She's like, yeah, there's like a mini supermarket right around the corner. So instead of like spending all this money on hotel waters and this and that other thing, let's go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Load up, come back. So we bought like a couple like things, like a couple 6-packs of water, and we're just buying things. And I bought like a Arizona iced tea. And the whole weekend we were there, I forgot to drink it. So we got our suitcase. We were all ready to leave. I was like, oh, there's that fucking Arizona. So I just guzzled it, right? It's like, fuck, I got to get my money's worth, right? And go. We leave the room, go down to the elevator. As soon as we get off the elevator, I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. And I went to the lobby restroom and fucking full metal jacketed that fucking
God.
A private piled the fucking porcelain in the fucking bathroom. It was like,
Oh my God.
It was like a fecal flash dance. It was just like it's like a Rorschach test, you know. Fucking Dawn couldn't get this fucking shit off any fucking geese or ducks. It was that. I was just like, these are my parting words, Ireland.
It's like a fucking Pollock painting all over the back. It's like a big explosion. Jesus Christ, man. Shrapnel and fucking porcelain everywhere.
It was definitely a dirty bomb in the fucking door. But I was like, man, that iced tea right there. They were fucking constipated. Just chug a fucking Arizona iced tea. God damn. Green tea with honey.
Well, that'll do it to you.
Oh, yeah.
That'll clear you right out. I love it. Well, what is not a dirty bomb is this segment each and every week. We love doing this. It is our favorite segment. We get to answer questions and hear from all of you who listen to the show. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. Tell us how much you like us. Tell us how much you're enjoying listening to the show. And if you like it, share it with a friend. Share it with a family member. Scream it at someone who's standing across the street. Share the word. Let them know we're out here. Meanie, I want to thank you for doing the program each and every week, and I want to know where we can tell people to find you on your social media.
If you would like to support the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, go to @Blue Meanie, BWO, on all forms of social media. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. Get yourself one of those said BWO t-shirts that we were talking about. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. I got it. Apologies to anybody who fucking tuned out about 20 minutes ago with all the fucking
all the gas that we're doing here.
Oh, sorry. So rude. If you'd like to support Mind of the Meanie, you probably want to support us now.
If you're still tuned in, if you're still with us.
If you're still tuned in, yeah. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand. Go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Use coupon code MEANIE, or you can also use coupon code MIND and save 10% at collarandelbowbrand.com. MadCatBeardCare.com. Look good, feel good. If you're a bearded fellow like myself, get the Blue Spruce beard oil and balm. Shout out to my friend Josh Thornton, who hopefully isn't sleeping right now because he said he was listening to Mind of the Meanie. He listens to podcasts while he's sleeping, and he woke up to this ad read where it said Josh Thornton, and he thought somebody was in his house. So shout out to
oh my God.
Josh Thornton, who hopefully isn't waking up thinking somebody's in this house right now.
God.
He's doing a great job at madcatbeercare.com, rounding up the cats, getting them fixed up, and releasing them back into the wild. The Figures Collection Bone Crushing Wrestlers Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now. All Series 1 can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. Get yourself the OG or the BWO Meanie figure at shop.figurecollections.com. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net and schedule an interview today. Shout out to my boy Jim Nilsson at glaciersofice.com. Jim made a 303 only handmade custom BWO Air Jordan 1 sneakers for Stevie, Noah, and myself. Each pair takes Jim about 50 hours per pair. Follow Jim on all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. That's all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. See a lot of his behind the scenes videos and photos. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for all birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Make somebody's day a little bit brighter over there at Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you?
Me? Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You can go on to Instagram. You can go on Twitter. You can go on Mastodon, which I'm still on. TikTok, we don't use it. We tried it. It just didn't work. You can find me there at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go ahead and follow me there for all of my antics. Shout out to Johnny Knoxville, by the way. It was dress your kids up, dress like a star day at the boys' school, and Danny was dressed up as a spot-on version of Johnny Knoxville. You can go check out those photos and Knoxville's love to Daniel at This Is Goober on Instagram right now. You can also check out Foundation Radio, my second podcast. You can go to foundationradio.net. Lots of great interviews in there. Everyone from Robert Costa to Rob Van Dam. Also got a great interview coming up with Alexandra M. Hunt, who is a candidate from the Philadelphia area. Foundationradio.net. Don't forget, Brothers Gaddor has released the first official Adam Barnard merchandise. It's a Wrestle Buddy. There are only a handful of them left. They have sold incredibly well. There's only 25 made in existence, and there will only be 25 of these that are ever made. So go and pick yourself up either your single Adam Barnard, and you can also pick up a single Blue Meanie Wrestle Buddy. And the best news of all, you can go and get us together as a 2-pack, an official Mind of the Meanie 2-pack. Get yourself your Wrestle Buddy, and that way you can beat the shit out of me. If you don't like me talking, you can listen to me and just punch me and pummel me at brothersgaddor.com. Pick them up right now today. The Feinberg Method. Go work out with my trainer, Brad Feinberg. Not just physical wellness, but also mental well-being as well. He's got a great community over there. Sign up today and use promo code Goober and save up to 20% on your entire purchase. So go over there right now, thefeinbergmethod.com. Shout out to my friends at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, right outside of Pittsburgh. Go over there and see Kane. Tell him Goober sent you. Also, Corey Graves' and Finn Balor's barber, 10thWardBarbershop.com, and tell him Goober sent you. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa de Meanie and the Barnard home for wayward and troubled youth. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Join us today. Tiers starting at just $10. It's incredible. Join us, and you can watch our beautiful faces as we record the show each and every week. I want to thank you for joining us here today. I want to also thank Manscaped for sponsoring the program and the sponsors that you heard at the beginning and end and probably somewhere in the middle of the program as well. Pod Squad, we love you so much. Thank you so much for being here with us. And Meanie, it is always a pleasure. For the Blue Meanie. Yes, dear?
Oh, I was going to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. For the Blue Meanie, I'm Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is produced by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Mind of the Meanie and become our patron on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production in conjunction with the MLW Radio Network. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
Dad, why is Blue Meanie's brain out?
The world of MLW Radio never stops.